Hello everyone, welcome to another video in Engineer JC tutorial, and in this video we will learn about one of the important topic in engineering practice, and that is the analysis of truss. But before anything else, what is truss and what is the function of truss? Now, a truss, this is a structure that is made of straight, slender bars that are joined together to form a pattern of triangle. So these are steel bar. Usually we use double angle or single angle bar, and they are joined together either by weld connection or bolted connection, and they are joined in order to form a pattern of triangle. So usually nakita natin ang truss sa mga bridges such as this one. So these are example of truss, and commonly nakikita natin siya sa ating roof. Okay, like this one. So a truss can either be a steel or a wood. Now, what is the purpose of truss? Of course, the purpose of truss is to resist the load. Now, sa roofing, ito yung nagre-resist o ito yung nagso-support sa load natin due to wind load or rain or snow load. Now, for the bridge naman, ito yung nag-support sa load applied by a moving vehicle. That's the purpose of a truss. Now, why we need to analyze truss and what are the data na makukuha natin if we are analyzing truss? Now, we know that in designing a structure, such as for example designing a steel that we will be using in the construction, we need to determine what are the forces na mariresist niya and what are the forces that are applied on it. Because we know that the shape of the material, such as its cross-sectional area, iyang shape, or the thickness, depends on the degree of the forces that is acting on it. Of course, if malaki yung force natin, therefore, we need to have a greater or a larger cross-sectional area. Okay? And aside from that, the purpose of the reason why we need to analyze truss is that to determine the shape or the thickness of the weld connections, okay, or the diameter of our bolt. Again, the purpose of the analysis is to determine the forces that is acting on each member of our truss system. Okay? Now, as like what I have said, this is the example of a truss. A truss can either be connected by a bolt. Ito yung example, ito yung, and then we have bolted connection. So and also we could also have a welded connection, no, for our truss. Now again, as what I have said, the purpose of a truss is to resist load. And like for example, if we have a load here applied to this joint, so we have let's say that's a wind load, and this load here causes a forces or internal forces on every member of our joint. So like for example, this is one member of our truss. So due to wind load, it could either have a tensile force or a compressive force. So it could be a tensile force. Again, the tensile force can cause elongation sa ating member, or we could also have a compressive force that would cause decrease in the length of our member. Again, these forces, ito yung kailangan natin kunin in order to design a structure. So these are the forces that we could get in analyzing truss. Okay? Now, tensile and compressive force here are axial forces. This means this is always acting perpendicular to the cross-sectional area or parallel to our axis sa ating bar. And that would not cause bending since we always make sure na ang ating truss or a member ng ating truss are slender. Okay? Or it would not cause bending or deformation sa ating bar. Okay? So we have only axial force that is acting on the member of our truss and located at each joint in our member. Okay, so ito yung hahanapin natin in the analysis of trusses. Again, since once you get these forces, then pwede ka nang mag-design ng ating member, such as what are the cross-sectional area of our double angle, what is the width, what is the thickness. So you can identify that, but that would be in your steel design subject. Okay, so that's the purpose why we need to conduct analysis in the truss. So basically that is for the design, okay, the design of the cross section of the member. Okay, now there are different ways in analyzing our truss. It could be by section method or by method of joints. Now in method of joints, what we do in method of joint is we analyze our member at each joint of our truss. Like for example, at this joint, okay, this is another joint, and at this joint here. Okay, so we analyze truss, the behavior of our truss on every joint of our, or in every joint of our truss system. Now, for you to understand it further, I prepared an example here. So this example number 1, and this example will be computed in the second part of this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the second part of this lesson. Thank you, guys.